Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to talk about how to start Amazon FBA or FBM in 2026. And this is for really the individuals who have been DMing me on TikTok, just asking how to start, how did I get started, and what's the process, how to do everything. So we're gonna go over that today. I don't want this video to be too long, but I will try to get in every single thing that I've done process to show you guys and help you guys out. So I'm gonna jump straight into it. See, I'm sorry if I'm looking down. I wrote this down just to make sure that I didn't forget anything for you guys. So first things first, we are going to start with your accounts. You want to go to Amazon Seller Central. And so essentially it'll give you an option of pricing. So click the pricing option, and then once you click that pricing option, it'll take you to this page. And it'll let you know, it'll give you the option to either sign up for individual or professional. I have professional. Honestly, I should be on an individual. As of right now, I'm doing FBM. I haven't sent my first shipment in for FBA, and I will tell you the reasoning why here in a little bit. But I really should be on individual. I forgot to change that, but you can. Essentially, individual is for smaller sellers, first time, like big sellers in the beginning, or people who just don't like a lot to, to start up with. That's what I feel like it's for. So they'll charge you 99 cents per item sold. You'll essentially be shipping it out yourself. You won't be shipping it to Amazon for fulfillment. Essentially, this is like what it covers. You set your statistic prices, delivery and storage fees, but essentially there's really no storage fees because you're doing FBM, so all the products will be wherever you have them at. And yeah, and then for professional, this is for more so people who are doing Amazon FBA, where you're actually sending it to Amazon. You're sending big shipments off, and mind you, the bigger the shipment, the less it is for like shipping costs. Like, it just makes sense like that. So and mind you, like I said, I'm doing FBM right now, so to build up my sales history before I start doing FBA. So it's really no point for me to be paying this $40 a month, but I am. So, but yeah, this is everything that it covers for the professional account. They'll take care of your shipments for you, the customer service for you. They'll do all of that. Advertise with Amazon ads, you can do all types of stuff. So essentially, I don't recommend getting a professional account until you're like ready to like really start making shipments into Amazon. Then it'll make sense, and then you'll be making back your $40 every month from doing so. But make sure that when you guys do FBM, you are calculating in your shipping costs, which is super important. Plus minus this 99 cents per item fee. Now, I do want to touch on is to make sure that when you are creating your account, that your address on your account is going to match the address that you're going to use for ungating, unless you have like a PO box that you pay for every month. And I'm not talking about a small PO box, I'm talking about a larger PO box, so that you can receive shipments when you're in the ungating process. But yes, make sure that that matches. So make sure your address matches, your name matches, all of that matches. If you have an LLC and you're still shipping off your products to like your home for like the ungating process, then your mailing address needs to match like your home address or whatever address that you have your products come into for ungating. But they do have to approve your account for like selling on Amazon after they review all your information and then do your identity check. The next thing that I want to move on to would be supplies. Of course, you need to have a computer if you want to do this business. So that's like one, like you make sure you have a computer. A thermal printer for your labels when you're shipping stuff off, when you're labeling your products to be sent into Amazon. You do need 4x6 labels, as well as 2x6 labels. You need poly bags. The poly bags are for like, clothing items that come in like sets of 2, sets of 3, or that come in sets. And like, say if you bought them separately, you need to make them a set, you make them a set. Tape, of course, bubble wrap for more fragile items, bubble mailers or poly mailers if you're doing FBM, boxes. Of course, the boxes you don't necessarily have to pay for. You can either keep your own boxes from your own shipments, or you can, like, you know, call into your local stores, like a beauty store, whatever, will let you take their boxes. Scotty pillar basically just like a tool that helps you peel off the tag and the stickers on products. So that you need a shipping scale. I've seen somebody use a freaking, I think it was a digital scale, like for food, like a food scale. I guess to each his own. You'll need like the stickers that say this is a set for, again, like as I stated, like the items that are a set, fragile stickers as well for items that may be glass or whatever. And then of course like your label holder, and then you can get a box cutter if you want to. It's really not that serious to me. You just use a knife, but you know, it's things like that. In total, my shipping supplies was like maybe one something. So say you are past the point where your account has gotten approved and you have bought all your shipping supplies. Now you will move on to your apps, Seller Amp and Keepa. It will show you all these things that we are looking at here. So it will show you if you're eligible for a product. It'll show you the alerts for a product, like say if it's dangerous goods, if there are any IP issues, if there are any variations of the product. It'll show you the BSR, which essentially is the seller rank. It'll show you how many times it sells a month, what is your max cost on buying the item. So what is like the max that you can spend on this item to still be profitable. And then it'll show your profit, your return on profit, and then your break even. It'll show you that, and then it'll let you know, like, you know, these are all the alerts that it gives you, and then you can choose to add the product to your inventory. It'll let you know how many sellers are on this listing, and then also too how many they have in stock as well. Just to show you, you know, if Amazon is on the listing, it'll show you the buy box. It'll show you, you know, the offer count, which means essentially means how many sellers are on the listing. It'll show you like the dates of, just the dates of everything. Like, it's very detailed. So essentially what Keepa is very helpful too as well, because they do give you all the graphs and product finder, product viewer, sellers, which essentially what I was talking about for, like, you know, variations as well. You do the buy box statistics, inventory tracking, advanced graphs, for your, like, you know, your offer counts, your rating counts. They do price increase tracking. It's so much stuff that they do on Keepa that's very useful for determining if you want to, you know, buy your product. So those two apps are super important to have every month. You're going to use those like every single day when sourcing. Of course, there are other apps like Sellerboard, which essentially it tracks your profits, your inventory, all of that. It's not something that's mandatory that you need to have like right away, but of course, as you get more advanced, you start making more sales and things like that. It would be nice to have, you know, sourcing products. There are a couple of different ways for sourcing products. Reverse sourcing, you can do storefront stocking, and then retail arbitrage, and then, you know, online arbitrage. So like essentially reverse sourcing is like it's kind of reverse of storefront stocking. So storefront stocking, as I showed you guys in my last sourcing video, is going to a seller's account. You click on their store, you see what products they're selling, you just run through those products, see if you're eligible to sell them, if you can find them at a profitable price by looking them up on Google, seeing if any stores have any sales for that price. Yeah, so that's storefront stocking. Reverse sourcing is like opposite of that. You'll go to the store first, or go to the store's website first to see what's on sale. So like Walmart, Target, whatever, you'll see what's on sale. You'll go back to Amazon, see if they sell that product, and then see, you know, if it's selling for a higher price on Amazon. That one is very lengthy and time consuming. That's like my least favorite way to source, to be honest with you. It's annoying, especially because I'm not ungated, and like I'm ungated and stuff, but I'm not ungated in like a wide range of stuff. Again, I'm still a new seller, so like it's very frustrating. And of course, retail arbitrage, as you guys know, you go to the store, you scan products, whether it be in clearance or whatever it may be. And mind you, don't have to scan the whole store in one day. You can just do section by section, but yeah. And then you'll read over your Seller Amp chart, see if the product is eligible for you to sell, look at your number statistics, buy it if it makes sense, you know, whatever. But that's retail arbitrage. I would love to do that more, but the only thing is again, as a new seller, you're gated in so many things, so that when you go to the store and you do find a product that's profitable, you're 9 times out of 10 not eligible to sell it, which is really annoying. Online arbitrage has been my best friend. So sourcing, it is very time consuming. Like, you'll really need to be doing it for hours and hours. hours out your day. It's very simple. The business is very simple, but it's finding the products and sourcing the products. As a new seller, it's frustrating. But once you're like ungated and like so many products and things, I believe it becomes easier. So sourcing and gating goes hand in hand with each other. So really for ungating, as I told you guys before, you're going to want to find products or brands that only require you to only order 10 of that unit. So I just found like OxyClean, you only have to order 10 of that unit. So go to Target, order 10 of something that sells on Amazon that's OxyClean brand, submit your picture, submit your invoice, boom. The cereal I told y'all, Play-Doh, like stuff like that. Make sure that you guys are focusing on that, and make sure that you have at least $50 to $60 to put to the side to order those products. Because mind you, when you're doing ungating and you're making those orders for your, you know, ungating, you want to go with like the cheapest product you can find, obviously. Yeah, like you're gonna have to recycle that same like money. People, they want you to like, a lot of people are like, yeah, you need to start with like $500 to $1,000. I just think that you can start with what you have. It's still possible for you to start with $100 to $200. It's very possible. People have done it. But again, like when your profit is not like as much, you know, you don't really want to get discouraged and like stop the business, because Amazon is like it's a numbers game. So the more you buy, the more you invest, the more you make, essentially. Amazon does have something that's called like account level like reserve. So essentially they'll keep like a portion of your money, or they'll hold it and then they'll pay you out some. And again, this goes hand in hand with having a little bit of money to start with. If you have a little bit of money to start with, just expect that your funds are going to be on hold or held for X amount of time until they release them. And so you'll still need to keep, you know, investing money in from either your paychecks or however you're getting paid into the business until they release your funds, so that you can use those funds to put back into your business. That is pretty much how you start, you know, your Amazon account. For everybody that's been asking me how I started and things like that, that's pretty much how I started. I didn't start with $1,000. I didn't do all that. Like as I told you guys before, I invested into a mentorship for a month. I could have went without it, but but yeah. And then from there, I was just like, okay, well, whatever I have or whatever I find, I'm just gonna invest this money into that, and that's that. And every week I've been investing money from my checks, and it's just been working out like that. I've been getting sales, and yeah. So essentially, you don't necessarily need buku bucks to start. That is how you start your Amazon business in 2026. If you have any other questions, you can comment them down below. If you want to suggest any videos that you guys are having issues or trouble with, or just more clarification on, go ahead and suggest it in the comments too, and I'd be more than happy to make that for you guys. But that is it for today, and I will see you next time.